Hi, this is Christian with the Featherweight Shop. Today I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble the early style featherweight tension unit. This was on the featherweights from 1933 into 1937. This style tension unit does not have any numbers, so any tension adjustments are made by feel. There are also not any diagrams showing how to take it apart in the Singer manuals, so it can be a bit tricky compared to the later style tension units. If you need to take the tension unit apart to clean it, it is not very difficult to do, and we're going to walk you through this step by step. When taking this tension unit apart, the first thing you're going to do is loosen and remove the thumb nut. So you can loosen that and take it all the way off the tension stud. Next comes the spring. It's just going to slide right off there. This is the tension spring. And then next, you will have this little disc here. Following that are the tension discs, the take-up spring, and the pieces that hold them together. And these will kind of all come off together. If you were replacing this tension unit with the later numbered style, the post here would also have to be removed. You would do this by removing the faceplate first, and then we can use our mid-length Vera screwdriver. So I've turned the machine so you can see this set screw right here. This one just needs loosened a couple turns, and then we'll be able to pull the stud out. Sometimes these can be stiff like this one is here, so what you can do if it is hard to remove is screw the thumb nut here onto the post a little ways, and then that will give you something to pull on as you remove that stud. Now that we have the tension unit disassembled, it's a good idea to clean these discs in here. They can get a little bit of rust on these discs, and that will cause inconsistencies when the thread is being pulled through the tension unit when you're sewing. Okay, so now we are ready to reassemble the tension unit. The first thing we're going to do is take the two tension discs, and we're going to put them together with the convex side to the inside facing each other, just like this there. Then we're going to take the disc cover and we're going to put the tension discs inside it like this. Next we will take the take-up spring, and it's going to go around all these pieces here. Just like that. It's kind of hard to see, but we can line up all the holes of the parts just like that. And then we are ready to slide these pieces onto the machine. Now we're ready to slide these pieces onto the tension stud here. You'll notice inside the spring is a little catch here at the end of the spring. That's at the end of the spring there, and it's going to go in a slot on this tension unit stud, a very small slot here. This little catch on the inside of the spring needs to line up with that slot as we slide these pieces on. When you assemble this, you want to make sure that you get the end of the spring just on the other side of this catch here. Here it's behind it, and then when we push it on, we can lift it up so it stops right there. The next piece we're going to put on goes on top of this piece here, and this bar is going to slide through this little hole right here and into another hole in the machine housing. So we can line all those up, and it'll slide on. It'll fit almost flush, that way you'll know you're all the way on. Next will come this little disc here, and it's going to go on with this bar in the center going through the center of the tension unit stud. The next piece is the coiled tension spring, and it's going to go on with the end of the spring here. It's going to go across and then down and around. So this is the correct position here. Slide that back off so you can see how it's going on. Back on with the center of the spring through the center of the tension stud. And then finally, we're going to screw on the thumb nut. Here I have a fully assembled tension unit that has been taken off the machine. When you raise the presser bar lifter, this pin here on the end of the tension unit will get depressed and it will open up your tension discs so that when you thread the machine, the thread will slide right through and it won't be tight when you're threading the machine. If we take this apart, let me do this real fast here. So when this pin is pushed through the tension unit, when you raise the presser bar lifter, it is going to push on the center of this little disc, this ring here in the center. It's going to push right there, and that's what is opening up your tension unit. You can see here as we raise the presser bar lifter, it moves the rocker arm that pushes in on that pin, and that opens up the tension unit. Now it's loose here. The spring causes it to be tight again and push that pin back out as we lower the presser bar lifter. Now it's tight. Once the tension unit's been completely reassembled, you'll almost certainly have to adjust the tension on the tension unit to get a good stitch. It will make it easier if you start with the bobbin case. The bobbin case, we can set the tension on that using the bobbin tension meter, and if we set it on 23 grams, then any adjustment made after that to our stitch will be made with the top tension because we know the bottom tension is perfect. So what we're looking for is a balanced stitch where the top thread and the bottom thread are locking in between your layers of fabric, producing a perfect looking stitch like this one here. Here's a stitch where the tension on the top thread is too loose. This is the top stitch here, then this is the underneath side. Both of these rows here, the top tension is too loose, producing loops on the underneath side of the fabric. To remedy this, you would need to tighten the upper tension. You would turn this clockwise several turns to fix loops like this on the underneath side of the fabric. Here is an example of a stitch where the top tension is too tight and the knot is pulled all the way up from the bottom side of the fabric all the way through to the top side. In this scenario, you would need to loosen the tension, turning it counterclockwise quite a bit, and that would bring that knot into the middle of the fabric. If you need further help with adjusting your bobbin case tension, we do have a video demonstrating how to use the bobbin tension meter. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, or post a question on Facebook. Have a great day.